Alright, JC here. Let me try to explain what's going on. Here in this file, in this document, I have these three objects on the stage. These one are instances from the same button symbol called blink MC. One have an instance name of MC0 and the other one has an instance name MC1. This is the value we use to refer in action script, So if we need to tell this button to do something, this is the name we use to refer to it. Go inside of this symbol. I have my 4 states for simple buttons already defined because Animate CC has this special kind of symbol called button. That you don't have to define the basic mouse interaction. It already has the 4 basic states, the 3 basic states, up, over, and down. This 4th frame is the hit state. Is a special frame we use to define a hit area for our button. Because if we don't define this area, if we leave this blank, the hit area for this object will be the whole object. But for example, here I use this rectangle, so the mouse won't care for the shape of this animation here. Okay. You could, for example, just delete this and draw a small rectangle anywhere, and this will be the region the mouse will recognize. Okay. Alright, the next layer is the blink animation, as you requested. It's a very simple 2 keyframes animation where this rectangle only changes its color. Nothing special going on. It will be played in loop because this is the default behavior for move clips. And here I have that balloon pop-up. The first keyframe is an animation where it goes out, it is dismissed. And the second frame is it's an animation where it's called. Okay, here it's doing this bouncing movement because I have defined here in the properties for this tuning. Okay. One thing I want to point out here is that for the first keyframe in the dismiss animation, I had to put this code, because if we don't put this code here and we try to test our move, you see the first time it loads, the animation is played. So you need to stop that. Go to play again because you see that? So this code here is to solve this. We check if the move have played already. If you haven't, we send it to the last frame immediately, and we set the property to true, so it won't go into this code, this block of code again. Alright, now if I test with this code, see, the user can see that balloon in the first time. Okay, moving on, and finally I have this box MC. This is the box that is called when we click the buttons. Okay, remember I try to make everything in this file very simple. This is not the only way of creating this interactivity, and certainly is not the best way. But I set up things in this way so you can better understand what's going on. Double click the move clip, you see it have 2 animations. When it enters the stage, and one when it leaves the stage. Okay, again, it's doing this back and forth movement because of easing. You can set here, you can pick another value the way you want, okay? I define these labels because this is a move clip. We can send this to the frame we want to. You'll see later in the code why I create this frame, these labels. But they are not mandatory when using ActionScript because I could only send the playhead to the frame 1 or to the frame 30, okay? Here I only have a single stop structure, so it won't go in the beginning of the move, okay? Moving on to the ActionScript layer, I'm going to close this. This is the main code for this file. I'm going to resize here, so we have everything visible. Here I add 2 event listeners to the button. I'm going to pin my code, so when I click the objects, it won't go off. You see, remember that I told you to make reference for objects in ActionScript. We use the instance names. So this is what I'm doing here. We don't use this, okay? Sometimes I see people referring to this name when using ActionScript, but it won't work. You need to refer to this name here, okay? So for this button to know what we want it to do when the user clicks, we need to add an event listener for mouse clicks, and we need to assign a function to handle this event. So I create a single function for the 3 objects. I add a different event listener for each one, for the MC0, MC1, and for the box. But the function that we'll handle is the same because the effect is the same. We only need the box to go in and go out. And this is it, okay? This function checks. Use this variable here, this boolean. Boolean is a special, is a value, is a type in ActionScript that has 2 values, false and true, okay? I use this to check if the box is inside or if it is outside. Here, because it's starting with false, it means it's outside, okay? So when the user clicks, the function will check. If this is true, it will send the box, the menu, the rack, the big rack out of the screen. But if it is false, it will send this rack, this menu, to the middle of the screen. And after we do this, we have to invert the value of this variable, because it's a switch state. You know, you click, it sends in. You click, it sends out. So when we click, for example, it's false. It checks it is false. It sends the menu to the screen, and then if it's false, we're going to invert. We're going to say, oh, you are false. Now you're going to be the opposite of false. The opposite of false is true. Ah, you are true. So if you're true, you're going to be the opposite of true, that is false. Okay? So this is the code, the main code we need here. So if we test, we get the interactivity you have already seen. I hold over, I call the popup, I hold out, it goes out. Meanwhile, the objects continue blinking. If I click, the menu is called. And as I add the event listener to the menu itself as well, if I click it, it will go out. Okay? I hope this explanation made any sense to you. And don't hesitate to ask if you have any further questions. Bye.